Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are going to be ranking all Mortal Kombat 1 fatalities. So this is something interesting. I don't usually do, I guess, this kind of thing. Well, I mean, I do ranking videos. I do like top 10s and stuff, but not like this. So this, like I said, we are ranking all the fatalities in Mortal Kombat 1. I just beat the story mode of the game. I've still got other stuff to do in it, of course, but I've been having a lot of fun with MK1, and today I thought it'd be a fun idea to do this. I've seen other creators on YouTube doing this, and so, yeah, I think it could be fun. Now, to do this, we are going to have to determine how are we going to rank these. So I think the best things to look at would be creativity, gore, and just overall enjoyability. Those three factors, I think, are the best to rank these fatalities by. We are going to be using just a video I have on YouTube of all of them, and this is not going to be including like any DLC characters or anything. I think the only one who's been like revealed so far is Omni-Man, but I don't want to know Omni-Man's fatalities until, you know, he comes out and I get him for the game. So I'm gonna wait on that. We're only doing the main roster. But yeah, we will be ranking them on a scale of 1 to 10. And I will just note right away, you obviously see this video as a redirect. For those who may be wondering, the reason for this is just possible copyright issues with YouTube. I don't want to risk anything. So any kind of reaction or anything like this that uses footage like this is redirected on my channel. I redirect it. The link is in the description below. It goes to, at this moment, 100 free. And you can watch the actual ranking, the actual reaction there. It's just to keep safe. I don't want to risk anything with the channel. I've already had one entire account unjustly terminated because of this copyright bullshit. Just don't want to risk it for another, you know? So yeah, we will be ranking them all. Unless I can't get it like up properly, I'm also going to have like the actual like ranking list up at all times, and I'm going to be updating that as we watch too. So let's get this going and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction ranking, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain not only my thoughts on the rankings, but also any spoilers towards what the fatalities are, if you may not know yet. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I calculated everything. I looked through my entire list here. Just, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but show it off. I have all the characters and all their rankings for each fatality and all. I've calculated who my absolute favorites and least favorites are. So, my absolute favorite of the fatalities would have to go to the second Geras fatality. That's the one where, as you remember, he, like, opens up a portal in time, rips your head off, beats you with it, destroys you with it, and then it comes back full circle with the portal in time opening up behind you as you're holding your own head, and he comes and rips your head off there. It's just the creativity, the amount of brutality to it as well, beating you up with your own head from the future. It's so smart so fun, and it perfectly encapsulates Gearus's Sands of Time gimmick. It's perfect in my eyes. It is the perfect fatality. A runner-up, though, would be Sindel's first fatality, the Who's Your Queen one. It's just, not only is it perfect dominance for Sindel's character, utilizing her hair powers excellently, as well as showing, that throughout the game, Sindel has been, like, in a lot of times an evil queen, and in cases of some games, including this one, not so evil, but still a dominant queen, or an empress in this case. Um, it just feels right for her to have a fatality like this. And yes, obviously there's the entire Dommy Mommy situation there, that a lot of people have touched on since this game came out. And yeah, that's definitely part of it. I can't lie. But it's so perfect for her. It's a great runner-up, but Gearus's is just much more stylish, in my opinion. My least favorite would probably be General Shao's first one. It's just so bland and boring, and I know it's Shao. It's like there's not really a lot to do with him because he's very simplistic. I have big hammer, or in this case, an axe. I'm going to beat you up with it. I'm going to do the bare minimum that I can possibly do. Like, it has a certain brutality to it, but that's pretty much it. Like, there's no style, no interest, no entertainment. It's not fun to watch. It's not fun to do. It's just boring, honestly. My most disappointing fatality, though, would have to be the second Sub-Zero one. Sub-Zero being one of the most iconic characters in this franchise. Honestly, his fatalities in general, both of them were pretty disappointing. But the first one at least had some style to it. This one was just... The second one's just like, oh, I'm going to create an ice wall and smash your face against it until your brain pops out. Yay? It's such an underutilization of Sub-Zero's abilities that it just feels like a waste of time. The fact that the Sub-Zero cameo had a better fatality than the actual playable Sub-Zero is really disappointing. It's really disappointing. Honestly, the cameo fatality for Sub-Zero is better than both of actual Sub-Zero's fatalities. Because I gave Sub-Zero a 6 and a 4, and the cameo was an 8. In terms of both fatalities, the best character was Sindel. Sindel's fatalities were just so perfect to her, and counting both of them together, it was just like, yeah, this is what Sindel's fatalities should be. This is what Mortal Kombat fatalities should be. It just felt like both of hers knocked it out of the park in a way that no other character really did. The worst is General Shao's. Again, his fatalities are way too simplistic and boring. The second one is a little more interesting for him, having like the split on the axe, but it's still very simple. There's not much to it. It's not flashy or interesting. It's not fun. It's not stylish. It's not exciting. It's just kind of empty brutality. And it's just really sad, honestly. My favorite cameo fatality was Serena. Serena's fatality out of the cameos was the only one that really went hard. Her burning the hole through the opponent's chest, but so precisely that the heart is left standing and beating in there until it pierces it with her tail and pulls it out that way. That is just so stylish and fun. That feels like an actual fatality. A lot of the cameo fatalities don't. They feel like their own thing because they're a lot shorter, a lot simpler than a lot of the main fatalities. But Serena's felt like a real fatality, you know what I mean? Runner-up would be Cyrax's. Blowing up the entirety of the planet using all those bombs is just a fun idea. It's so over the top. It's absolutely ridiculous, but that's kind of what makes it fun. It doesn't, I wouldn't say it jumps the shark exactly, because that implies that it went too far. It feels like just enough silliness in my eyes. My least favorite cameo, though, was Goro. Goro, let's be honest, for as iconic of a character as Goro is, he should have had something better, even as a cameo. It just felt like bland. I feel like it almost feels like in this game, like the creators, the people working on this and coming up with the ideas for the fatalities, almost don't seem to know what to do with these big, strong, tough guys, so they just give them the most basic, brutal stuff possible without any kind of flash or pizzazz. Like, Goro has 4 fucking arms. Imagine the kind of shit he could do with those. You don't even need to, because you've seen it in previous games. Goro's had great fatalities in previous games. But here it's just kind of weak. And with General Shao, it's like he has this giant fucking axe. Like, there are definite possibilities there. But instead they go with the most basic option. There are some other ones I want to highlight too, though. Syzoth's fatality, Reptile. His first fatality where he eats you and then spits up only the top half, which was the first part that went down, is confusing how he does that, but also kind of brilliant. It's really shocking and really interesting, spinning him up in the stomach acid and everything, the corrosive stomach acid, and then seeing him like just smash the head in. It's so good. It's so good. And Melina, her eating the opponent's head, it's just like that's Melina. That's absolutely Melina. Even though, in terms of her character in the story in this game, that's not as much aligned with her character as it has been in previous entries in the franchise. It still is like, oh yeah, we want to see a Melina fatality. This is what we want to see it look like. This is the kind of shit that we want to see with Melina. It's like, that is just so gruesome, so violent, so aggressively stylish. It just works for her. A lot of the ones, like, after the halfway mark with the fatalities were mostly right around the same range, between 8 and 10. It was only a couple of the early ones, like General Shao and Sub-Zero, that had much less than that. There are also a couple 7.5s, but most of them were good, and I mean baseline good. Not too many of them were amazing. I honestly felt like the fatalities in this game were a little held back overall, which is a little disappointing. But I mean, it could be worse, I feel, because most of them were still, again, good. Hell, even really good to a point. But yeah, it's like they could have been better. They could have done a lot more with them. And I hope for a lot of these DLC characters we're going to get, we get a lot of really good ones. Like for Ermac and Quan Chi, and obviously the guest characters like Omni-Man and whatnot, Homelander. I hope we get some really good ones for them. There's so many possibilities, and I hope they don't drop the ball with a lot of them. Funny enough, with the DLC characters, the one I'm most interested in is the last one that's being introduced. They announced like the order the DLC is going to come in, I guess, and the last one that's going to come is Takeda, who in the previous timeline was the son of Kenshi, but I guess is just another member of the Taira clan in this one. Though I guess he's probably just from a different timeline. Considering we see him there in the story and everything, like briefly. But yeah, it's like he's the one I'm most interested in out of all of the DLC characters. It's like more than any of the guest characters, more than Ermac or Quan Chi. It's like he's the one I'm interested in seeing because I liked him in the previous timeline. So yeah, sucks that he's going to be the last one, but hey, they're saving the best for last, I guess. um, but yeah, so that's my ranking for the fatalities. I would love to hear your thoughts. What is your favorite fatality of Mortal Kombat 1? What's your least favorite? And tell me your reasons why, if you have any specific reasons. But thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.